BYD has always been off the beaten path this year. Following the announcement in April to stop production of fuel vehicles, BYD suddenly announced that it would enter the Japanese market. In the eyes of major auto companies, the Japanese auto market has always been an export forbidden area. We all know that Japanese local brands have deep roots, leaving few opportunities for foreign brands. Local car companies such as Toyota, Honda, Nissan, Mitsubishi, and Mazda are strong, and data show that Japanese local brands account for more than 90% of the market. In addition, Japan has a small land area and a very limited market, especially the current Japanese market, which is at a low sales volume. In 2021, the cumulative sales of passenger cars in Japan was 4.448 million units, less than 5 million units for 2 consecutive years, while the cumulative retail sales of passenger cars in China has reached 20.146 million units, a year-on-year increase of 4.4%. So, what are BYD's chances of winning in the face of tough Japan? Why did BYD choose the Japanese market? What are the symbolic meanings behind its choice? Tesla entered the Japanese market earlier. How is the current sales? Hi, welcome to Auto Age. Before we started today's video, please subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. Okay, let's get started. First of all, what are the chances of BYD winning in the face of Japan, which has a limited market share? In my opinion, BYD's entry into the Japanese market still has certain prospects, because BYD has the following 3 advantages. First, in the context of carbon neutrality, BYD has stopped production of fuel vehicles and focused on new energy vehicles. One of the reasons for the sluggish pure electric market in Japan is that the price of local electric vehicles is too high, such as the Honda E, which is positioned as a mini car, with an endurance mileage of less than 300 kilometers, and the price in Japan is about 300,000 yuan. However, among the 3 models that BYD has determined to enter the Japanese market, taking the Dolphin as an example, the official charging range is 301 to 401 kilometers, and the price in China is 102,800 to 130,800 yuan, and Japan does not charge tariffs on imported cars. So theoretically the price of the Dolphin in the Japanese market will be the same with that of Chinese market, which is a major blow to Japanese electric vehicles. Second, BYD's commercial vehicles have already had a certain market foundation in Japan. For example, Japanese buses have BYD, and in 2020, BYD and Toyota formed a joint venture. Third, China's influence in the field of power batteries cannot be underestimated. Last year, China's installed capacity of power batteries accounted for half of the global installed capacity. Moreover, BYD is targeting the Japanese electric vehicle market. At present, most of the models sold by local Japanese brands are fuel vehicles, which is a new opportunity for BYD. In December last year, according to Japanese media reports, in order to implement the 2050 carbon neutrality goal, the Japanese government will strive to spend 15 years to ban the sale of fuel vehicles around 2035. In order to achieve the goal of fully delisting fuel vehicles, the Japanese government plans to increase the sales of hybrid and pure electric vehicles from 40% in 2019 to 50% to 70% around 2035. This means that the scale of electric vehicles in Japan will grow rapidly under the guidance of the government, from the current annual sales of less than 20,000 vehicles to the level of 1 million vehicles. In addition, in order to promote the development of electric vehicles, the Japanese government doubled the consumption subsidies for pure electric vehicles at the end of last year, up to 800,000 yen, equivalent to $7,000. Tesla CEO Elon Musk has predicted that Japan will one day become Tesla's second largest market in the world, after the United States. And Matthias Schapers, president of Germany's Volkswagen Group Japan, also said that in the Japanese auto market, the shift to zero-emission pure electric vehicles has not yet occurred, but once it does, it will be very fast. According to the latest data from the Japan Automobile Sales Association, in June this year, the sales of pure electric vehicles in Japan increased by 3.6 times year-on-year to 3,379 units. In terms of imports, the number of newly registered imported pure electric vehicles in Japan in 2021 tripled to 8,610, a year-on-year increase of 165%. So, why did BYD choose the Japanese market? What are the symbolic meanings behind its choice? As a powerful country in the auto industry, Japan's local auto companies have strong competitiveness in the world. Giants such as Toyota, Honda, and Nissan have built factories around the world to produce cars, and their total production and sales account for more than a quarter of global production and sales. Taking the data of 2021 as an example, Toyota's global production and sales volume is 10.5 million vehicles, while Honda's production and sales volume is around 4.5 million vehicles. The combined production and sales of Nissan and Mitsubishi is close to 5 million vehicles. The annual production and sales of these Japanese car companies alone are as high as 20 million, not including Mazda, Subaru, Suzuki and other car companies. By the way, the global automobile production and sales in 2021 was 81.05 million units. For this reason, the Japanese domestic market has long been dominated by local car companies. Except for a few luxury car companies from Germany, there are few foreign car brands that can compete with local car companies in the Japanese market. Statistics show that the Japanese market will sell 4.448 million vehicles in 2021, but there is only a narrow space of 400,000 vehicles left for foreign brands. In the top 15 of Japan's best-selling car companies in 2021, the top 10 are all Japanese brands. Among the overseas brands, only 3 German car companies, Mercedes-Benz, BMW and Volkswagen, have entered the top 15, but their sales are only about 50,000, 35,000 and 35,000 respectively. In such a limited market, how much share can BYD grab? In this sense, BYD's entry into Japan has a greater symbolic meaning, that is, entering the market of developed countries, implying the publicity effect of advanced product technology and high quality. But it doesn't matter how many cars you sell. Since last year, many Chinese new energy vehicle brands have announced to enter the developed European market. Norway is the most typical example. In Norway, the penetration rate of new energy vehicles is as high as 60%. But in a country with a population of about 5.4 million and fewer than 200,000 cars sold a year, the move is more symbolic. And BYD's entry into Japan is similar. Tesla entered the Japanese market earlier. How is the current sales? According to the data, among the sales of less than 20,000 electric vehicles in Japan in 2021, Tesla has sold 5,200 vehicles, a year-on-year increase of over 174%, accounting for over 30% of the sales of pure electric vehicles in Japan that year. This means that when BYD enters the Japanese market, the first challenge is Tesla, which is also a foreign brand. In fact, the current competition between BYD and Tesla is becoming extremely anxious. In the first half of this year, BYD surpassed Tesla to become the world's largest electric car maker. To maintain its leading position, BYD, like Tesla, needs to make a layout in the global market, including the potential market of Japan. Therefore, BYD's entry into the Japanese market is a task that has to be challenged. Okay, we just spent another 10 minutes of deep thinking. Do you want to learn about more auto stories? Please keep following our channel and like.